Hey guys, it's Will. Welcome to my video. So before we start, let me ask you this question. You all know that studying English is a tough journey, that you might need a guide, a person who will help you through all the difficulties. However, there are too many options to make. Who are you going to choose? A native speaker who has been speaking English their entire life, or a non-native speaker who speaks and understands your language, culture, and experience? Keep that in mind, and please comment your answer below after watching this video. So in this video, I'm going to present several advantages and disadvantages of native and non-native English teacher in English education for EFL students into specific skills, which are writing and speaking, and help you find a perfect English teacher based on those two skills. Let's start with writing skill. It's evident that native English writers utilize a diverse range of language tools to capture reader interest and increase their understanding of individual objects or events that they discuss. However, beginner EFL students often face difficulties when attempting to communicate with native speakers and understand their speech or lecture. Additionally, factors such as cultural disparity and enigmatic teaching methods can further exacerbate student anxiety. So, my suggestion is that students at beginner level should begin learning with non-native speakers for two crucial reasons. Effective communication. EFL students can understand complex grammar and sentence structure easier in the first language. Second is shared experience. A non-native speaker may share similar backgrounds, cultures, and experiences with students, creating a more relatable and comfortable learning environment. However, I still recommend EFL students should also study with native speakers. This exposure helps students adapt to a language environment and gain different perspectives. In conclusion, English learners should start a writing journey with non-native speakers, particularly at the beginner to intermediate level, accounting for 70% of their learning experience. As students progress to intermediate or advanced level and possess a better understanding of English, they could study with a native English writer. Moving on to speaking skill. For this skill, students should ideally spend 70% of their class with native speakers. Native speakers have used English their entire life, enabling them to naturally employ a wide range of vocabulary and expression. Moreover, native speakers, particularly those from English-speaking countries like Canada or the US, often utilize student-focused teaching method. This approach enhances enrichment in class, ultimately boosting student confidence in their speaking abilities, which develop critical English skills, creating extended response and general conversational skills for students. However, it's equally important to study with non-native speakers, especially at beginner or intermediate level, because some research argue that native English teachers are difficult to understand, since they speak too fast and use words that are often difficult to the level of student. Or the teacher accent might hinder the learning process in the case of unfamiliar accent. Moreover, non-native speakers understand the challenge of learning English as second language, including pronunciation, grammar rules, vocabulary. This making their insights invaluable for learners. Now, let's take a closer look at differences between learning with native and non-native speakers to a comparison table. For non-native speakers, they provide a real-life example of successful language learner, inspiring struggling students. They also offer customized language study strategy based on their own experience. Moreover, non-native speakers share a common language, culture, background, facilitating easier communication and understanding. However, students might feel uncomfortable talking English with non-native speakers because they can speak with non-native speakers in their first language. Non-native speakers also might not grasp cultural nuances or idiomatic expression in English, and they could also not able to develop critical English thinking, extended responses, and general conversational with EFL students. On the other hand, native speakers, they can create environment prompt students to speaking in English and enhancing their speaking skills, promoting English thinking. Native speakers naturally use a wide range of vocabulary and expression. They often use student-centered approaches, encourage active participation in speaking classes. However, the gap between two cultures can lead to ineffective communication, or advanced expression and vocabulary can be difficult for students to understand at beginner level. This pie chart depicts the number of English educational classes taught by native speaker, professor, and Korean professor in Korean University. Only 32.14% of classes in Department of English Literature and 26.6% of classes in Department of English Education are taught by native English speaking teachers, while the remaining classes are instructed by either Korean professor teaching in Korean or in English. So from this information, we can clearly see that Korean University is a real-life example which apply nearly the same proportion as I presented. Okay, now let's wrap things up. Why native speakers offer invaluable expertise in language usage and teaching method? Non-native speakers provide unique benefits, including relatability and understanding of language learning challenge. Therefore, I would recommend all EFL students out there to consider a balanced approach to English learning with both native and non-native English speakers. Starting with non-native speaker for writing skill, particularly at beginner to intermediate level. This can provide a relatable and comfortable environment while gradually immersing with native speaker for advanced language proficiency. Same thing for speaking skills, but EFL student can start with native speakers sooner. This is the end of the video. Thank you for your time. And don't forget to leave comment below